What up? It's me. You already know. Excited to be back with you for another episode of Candid. Gonna be joined by Gavin Turek today. What up to Germany? What up, everybody? Make sure you let me know where you are. I'm in Atlanta. Hope everybody is safe. Glad you're tuning in for another episode of Candid. I get to talk to my buddy. What's up, lady? Hey.
Oh, hi.
What's up, lady?
Nothing. How are you?
I am good.
Good.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. I just took a shower. I'm fresh for you. Yes, I tried. Yeah.
I appreciate the effort for being on my behalf. We've got people tuning in all over the place, so feel free to acknowledge them however you choose to.
Cool.
Yeah. I wanted to, gosh, I think I met you like somewhere around 8 years ago, actually.
Yeah. I was
Been a
gonna say, was it 8 years ago? That long ago?
Yeah.
That's so wild. Yeah, we met at The Voice.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Somebody said there's a slight echo.
Okay.
And,
Oh,
Can
is
you?
it me? Should I can get my earphones if that's better.
Try that.
Oh, he said on Cam's end. I don't hear anything. Let me see.
I'll get mine too.
Okay.
Let's try yours.
Okay.
You can make another intro. Usually, guys, it's not me. But you never know. I have an earphone. What up, Dan?
Okay.
Let's try.
Let's see. How's that?
Bingo, what's his name? Oh.
Hi, Dan. Okay.
Cool.
I'm ready.
We got it rocking and rolling now.
Cool.
So, and make sure your volume's all the way up too. On the side if you can.
Cool.
All right.
Yes.
All right. So, I wanted to jump in and start asking you questions. I know, like I said, we met a while ago, but I have never had an opportunity to really talk with you like that.
I agree. I haven't had that opportunity to talk with you either.
So I grew up in the Midwest, and I know growing up in the Midwest, we always used to imagine what it would be like to grow up on the West Coast. And we always used to imagine people who lived in LA or anywhere else in California just going to the beach after school and riding in Jeeps all day and everything like that. But what was it really like growing up? What was a young Gavin like?
Oh gosh, dorky. I so dorky, still dorky. It was special because I just had so much access to, high quality teachers in every aspect of the arts. So I went to a lot of dance classes with the best of the best. Um, I trained, in dance specifically with just incredible, incredible teachers. my mom's an actress, so I started going on auditions and acting at a very young age, and had access to that without even, thinking about it. It wasn't something that I had to strive so hard to at least start or dabble in or see if I was interested in, because it really was already in my backyard. Yeah, and then just, the area that I grew up in was actually not in LA, like proper in the city. It was a suburb of LA called Santa Clarita, actually a little bit further than Santa Clarita, called Aquadose. And my parents still live there. It's the middle of nowhere. There's nothing there. There's a winery there. Um, and a lot of mountains, a lot of dust, a lot of dirt, but it's really chill. There's horses. It's like the opposite of what you would get in your mind as a picture of an LA experience, or like growing up in LA. So that's where I was sleeping every night. But I mean, again, my mom was an actress and I acted as well. And then I was always dancing and doing competitions and just out there. I was just such an active kid. So we were never really there. We really only slept there. And then we were always in the car driving. Yeah, growing up in LA is a lot of time in the car.
Wow.
A lot of time in traffic.
I was just gonna say the
Oh,
same
someone
thing.
said they can't hear me.
Oh, I
Can
can hear you great now.
Okay. Is this better? I'll just be up in it like
We're,
that.
we're trying to please you all, guys. Maybe turn your volume up a little bit. Help us out on this end,
On
okay?
the
All
yeah.
right. Yeah.
All good.
Um, so I read that you released a single named Frontline, and that was to honor and pay homage to Donna Summer. I was curious who else you might have listened to growing up on the music side of things.
Oh, we listened to so many amazing artists. I remember distinctly listening to a lot of Stevie Wonder. Most black kids probably listened to a lot of Stevie Wonder growing up. My parents really loved jazz. We listened to a lot of jazz, a lot of Miles Davis. My dad actually really liked Roberta Flack. So I remember singing the Lauryn Hill version of Killing Me Softly. And then my dad was like, actually, there's this other version. That's the original version from this amazing woman named Roberta Flack. And then my mind was blown by her and her work, and Donny Hathaway, a lot of soul. My grandpa was the one that really pushed Diana Ross and the Supremes. Like I remember, this is my grandpa on my dad's side. So my Czech grandpa, who's still alive, he's in his 90s now. He
Nice.
loved the Supremes and loved just that era of music. He also really liked big band, but he, I remember very vividly, he bought me probably 6 different CDs, like all the Supremes, classic compilations, and I loved it. I thought it was so much fun. So yeah,
Wow.
all over the place. But my family, I'm blessed. My parents have very very good taste in music. So
Yes, you
it's got
are.
a good
They
sense.
do.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, Beatles too. My dad was a really big Beatles fan, huge Beatles fan. So
Nice.
yeah.
It's funny because my parents used to be very like overprotective of what we watched, and we used to watch like these old school cartoons that would sometimes come on like Disney Channel or something like that. I remember watching like A Hard Day's Night,
Mhm.
like the Beatles and all the
Mhm.
Jacksons and stuff. So it
Yep.
makes a huge difference. That's I can kind of tell, you know. Um,
Oh, a lot of Michael. Oh my gosh,
oh
so much. And Janet. Oh my God. Yeah, a lot of Janet. My sister loved the Velvet Rope.
oh
So we
man,
used to just, oh, we listened, and then as a dancer, Janet was everything. Like
yeah.
anyone that grew up going to dance class, I feel like Janet and Michael were all we choreographed to, were all we learned. Like all the stuff we learned was to Janet Jackson and Michael Jackson solo, albums and songs.
Wow. So
So,
So growing up with a mother as an actress, what was was there a push and pull as it related to the arts, or was it all just always included all together? Was it all inclusive?
Yeah, it was. It was all inclusive. She and my father were really encouraging always, but super open to whatever I wanted to do, whatever felt kind of right for me at the time. They did put me in piano lessons very young, and I hated it for some reason, so I quit. So mad at myself now. I'm so mad that I quit my piano lessons. Um, yeah, they were really just really encouraging though. I took to dance seriously very, very young. That was my first focused, I want to do this. Mom and dad, please invest in me, to take these classes. I want to grow. I think I want to do this professionally. That's what I thought I was gonna do. But yeah, they were always just really open. And then the acting thing again was something I wasn't sure if I wanted to do it, honestly, but it was I had an opportunity to do it, and so I thought I might as well take advantage and want to make my mom proud because she's phenomenal. So
Yeah,
yeah.
but you have such a buttery. I use words that remind me of food, just because it creates a visual. You have
Hmm.
such a buttery vocal. So
Oh, thank
where did
you.
the vocal just start to, the vocal is like came out of did it come out of nowhere, or was it like what like
Well, it I don't know. I don't know. So my mom's not only an actress, she's a singer. So I grew up watching her practice. That was something that, I mean, it was an everyday thing. We had a guest room in our house, and my mom had set up her whole kind of practice space in this guest room. She had a full console and two gigantic speakers, and then she had a professional microphone, and every single day, she would practice. Every day. It was incredible. Like, I just saw this. Can you imagine what that does to your mind? As a
yeah.
kid, you're just like, wow, my parent is just, again, like, refining their craft, working their craft. And so I grew up with that example of her just always working on her voice. I heard her do vocal exercises all the time, and then she would just get on the mic and sing these gospel songs. And then she would perform them. She performed 3 to 4 hour sets every Sunday at a coffee house.
They don't make
Yeah,
them
I
like
get
that
it. I
anymore.
get it from my mom. They don't. They do not. She's so rare in that regard. Like such a hard worker. But I grew up with that example, and then I think when I was 4, one night I was just like, I know these songs better than her. I'm gonna take the mic, and I just started singing, just singing, and then I never stopped. But I wasn't that good. Like I can't tell you that when I started naturally I had this gift like a Whitney Houston. You know what I mean? Like I loved it, and I think my love for it always shone through to maybe make people interested or maybe it was entertaining. But I don't know. I I don't think naturally I was like great or anything. I just started working hard at it later in life. Like in high school, I started like training and just taking it more seriously. And yeah, then kind of it evolved from there.
Nice.
Yeah.
So was there an aha moment when you think back on it that
Mm-hmm.
made you like, okay, yeah, this is
This is what I want to do.
yeah.
Ooh, okay. Um, an aha moment. Yes. I was in college. I went to Scripps College, and it was my senior year. And I mean, I'm a dork. I was so into the idea of continuing an academic career. I thought maybe I'll be a professor or maybe I'll go to law school. Like, I love learning and I love being challenged in this type of environment. So I was really considering all the things. And all my friends were applying for not only corporate jobs, but these fellowships and scholarships that would take them abroad and continue their kind of their studies there. And I already lived abroad for a year, so I was like, God, what the heck am I gonna do? Like I feel I feel like I can do anything. I really genuinely felt that. It was such a special time. I was like, I'm invincible. I feel like I could do anything. And I, at that time, had already started writing a lot. Like I was writing a ton at that point, just on my own, just producing stuff on my computer, writing on my computer. And I already like put stuff on the internet. And it wasn't like blowing up by any means, but my sister was like, "This is really good. Like you should keep doing it. Like you're good enough." And my parents, they kind of were like, whatever you want, like you can do whatever you want. So ultimately I made that decision to just have no plan B and just go for plan A, which has become a musical act, an artist. And then it was just a lot of trial and error from that point on.
Wow.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna jump to 2015 for a moment.
Okay.
Um, I have been gorging, which I normally do. I binge on,
Before.
yeah, I just
Hmm.
binge musically.
Hmm.
And it just puts me in a vibe, you know what I
Hmm.
mean? And part of my binging was listening to You Are Invited. And I love that project because I mean, all the music that I hear you on is so detailed, you know. It's very well thought out.
Hmm.
And I
Thanks.
really love that collaborative album with you and Toki Monster. And I was just wondering
Thank
how
you.
that relationship developed and what has been kind of the key to that chemistry between you two.
Yeah, wow. Thank you for liking the album. I really liked it too. And it was such an effortless project. It really, truly was. It was very easy to make. And I say that in the most um, genuine way because I know how rare that is.
Yeah.
Like I just made an album and it was not easy to make. So I know when chemistry is chemistry. And if you have it with someone, yeah, it is special, and you can hear it. And we just had chemistry from the gate. We met we met online. She reached out to me on MySpace like forever ago, like 10 over 10 years ago, and then I was I wasn't really doing anything. I was just kind of like dabbling, and again, like had put some of my homemade stuff online. I think she reached out based on that, and I met her at her mom's house. I like drove over to Torrance, met her at her mom's house, and we just like nerded out on music for a while, then and then she sent me instrumentals for what became oops, weird. For what became the two singles on her dreams. I cannot talk. Her creature dreams EP, and those again, when I talk about like it was very easy, very effortless. She sent those instrumentals to me, and I wrote them and I recorded them on my laptop without even a mic, just like into my laptop, and those what ended up being the yeah. So you just if you have the chemistry, you have the chemistry. That's all I can say with that. And those did so well, and we were like, I think we were both kind of surprised how well those did and how well those singles continue to perform, like that are 10 years old now, or 9 years old whenever they were released. And then 2000, so we just kept in touch. We kept on working together, and then 2015 she and her manager were like, we want to do an album with you. Like, let's do something for real. And same process. She sent me a lot of different tracks, and I, wrote to them. And then a few songs actually had sent her acapellas, and then she created something around. So
Nice.
it was so organic, so fun. It's so wonderful working with women, you know, it's just a different experience. Um, she knows what she wants, she's intense. I know what I want, I'm intense. So it just worked out.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I I mean, yeah, I really love that project, you know. I
Thank you.
hadn't really been exposed to her work, you know, but I knew you. So, you know, I love the way that that kind of works in the artistic community, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? The bridges
Mm-hmm.
that get created kind of
Yeah.
from one artist to another.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of which, I remember, you know, I had been following you for a while, and then all of a sudden I'm like, wait, she's
Hi.
touring with Mayor Hawthorne.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like giving all this sass and all this energy to this tuxedo thing. And I wanted to ask you what that experience was like touring. Like what maybe a couple of takeaways might have been from that experience touring with Mayor.
Yeah, it was so much fun. Biggest takeaway is if you can't enjoy who you're touring with, you might as well not do it. Because those guys, like the dream team, the original crew, tuxedo crew, they're the funniest, sweetest, most ridiculous men I've ever met. Like they are so. Hi, Kathy. They're so much fun. Like they made me laugh like nobody else. Um, and it made the touring experience, which if you're an artist, you know, it's rigorous. It's not glamorous at all. It's a lot of like sleepless nights and long bus rides and plane rides at, 6 a.m. in the morning. And yeah, it's not glamorous, but it's so much fun if you're doing it with fun people.
Yeah.
Like it's the best. And I miss it so much. Like I miss them. I miss touring, but I know how special that was, and I don't think you can recreate the chemistry that we had on stage. It was just anyone that came to a show, you can just feel it, you can see it. We had so much fun because we genuinely liked each other, and I think we genuinely got a kick out of one another and thought that we yeah, we all like made fun of each other. It was just like such a great, we didn't take each other that seriously, but it was like the perfect way to do that project, you know? Like it
Yeah.
was just so much, it was so much fun. It was so much fun.
Okay. Well, so I've also seen you in context, um, in clips of your live performances
Mm-hmm.
where, you know, you've taken that chance to do your thing. It's almost like being a guitar player. It's like I can't imagine doing a show without taking a solo, you know. So I've seen you in some of your performances, and there's like this moment where you know you do your thing and you're dancing, and everybody loses their marbles, and it's like the energy level just it's like going up and up. And I was just going to ask you about from the live performance standpoint, when you're doing your shows, do you have a preference when it comes to the way the setup is? And as far as dance in particular, is that something, were you always including it as a fixture of your live performance?
Yeah, yeah, always. If anything, I've had to learn the hard way how to not dance so much because it was that natural for me to do it. And people won't believe me, but I guess okay, if you're a performer and you're starting out for the first time and you're like learning how to navigate just your on stage persona and what you're going to do and how you're going to present yourself, what you're going to wear, where you're going to put your hands and everything. When you get nervous, you tend to do one thing all the time, right? Like, I don't know, what is that one thing for you when you were starting out? Like, what was when you got nervous, like your thing? Was it grabbing the mic like this? Was it swaying?
I probably close my eyes.
See? Yeah,
Yeah.
there's always something that you default to. My default was moving, was dancing. So like you see super early stuff. Oh my God, it's too much. Like literally, I was not still. Like I was not ever standing still. So it's always been a default. It's always been part of my nervous energy to move because, again, that was my comfort zone. Dancing used to be my comfort zone. That's where I had the most training, the most experience. So I would always kind of default to that. Um, Now that I've been focused on singing for 10 years, um, over 10 years, I can sit still or stand still and sing a song and feel great about it. But it took a long time for me to get there. It took a long
Yeah.
time for me to get there. Yeah.
Okay, well, so let's take your Colors performance. I love the Colors platform. I think it's amazing for artists, and I was super excited to see somebody that I actually, could say that I was familiar with on
Yeah.
that platform. I thought your performance fit right along with everyone else's, but I always like the fact that each performance is unique to the artist, um, him or herself. So
Mm-hmm.
I felt like you did a great combination of movement, which isn't necessarily always, in every Colors performance, but there was the movement there. There were the moments of movement, but you were delivering, the song as well. What was that experience like for those of us who watch it on a regular basis and kind of wonder, with the setup, the big colored walls and everything like that?
Yeah, well, it's a green screen, so
Oh,
I didn't know what my color was going to be. Yeah, it's in a big, just space that is. I think it was a green screen. Yeah, you have no idea what your color is going to be um, until they send it to you, and you're like, oh, cool. It was really fun. I was in Berlin for a few weeks, like making music, just having fun. I was like my little escape trip in at the end of 2018, and I got connected to Colors, and they're like, "Yeah, come through. Let's do something." And I'm like, "Cool." So I came in by myself, no
wow.
entourage, no stylist, no hairdresser. Like I just I just came in, and that was funny because I don't think that it didn't seem like they were used to that, like artists just showing up by themselves
Yeah,
by themselves.
yeah,
So that was really funny. And yeah, we I had given them the track, and then I just did it a bunch of times. It was fun. It was really fun. And then they pick one of the ones that you did and put
okay,
it up. Yeah, so it was super cool. Like they were very laid back. Their their aesthetic and their vibe and the platform that they've built is so is just so thorough and trustworthy, I guess. Like I just could relax the whole time. Like I was super happy with the results and how they took care of everything. It was just an easy experience. Yeah, super fun.
when when it comes to style, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about style musically speaking first. We are in a moment now where I feel like, although genre is still very much so a prevalent thing, there are a lot of opportunities for artists to kind of meld one genre into the next. And I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to get your philosophy on genre in general and kind of as it relates to you and what how you felt about genre and when it comes to your music.
Yeah, I always have felt honestly that it's stifling because you, I mean, most musicians listen to everything, like listen to all kinds of music. We don't listen to what we create necessarily, or only listen to R&B, or only listen to soul, or only listen to indie rock, or only listen to jazz. Like, I literally listen to everything that I like, and I like so much stuff. So if I'm inspired by Shaka Khan one summer and I decide I want to, make some songs that are in that kind of 70s funk land, I want to feel like I can do it. And then I'm inspired by, like someone like Toki Monster, who's an incredible electronic producer. Then I want to make that, and it's it can get you in trouble. I think for me, it's because I've bounced around a lot. Like it's I don't know. I don't know if it's been harmful in any way. It's been really fun for me though. And I really like it. I just enjoy it. Like one day I want to make a jazz album if I want to. Like why not?
Why
I think
not?
as an artist you have to keep yourself inspired and entertained with what you do. So yeah, I think I'm glad that people aren't as fixated on the genre or the box that they want to put artists in. And there's more flexibility in that. That makes me feel way better because I'm just gonna keep evolving and keep on making music that feels good, to me. So I think
How would
I think my voice and my lyrics are always a through line though, so that kind of helps.
yeah?
Hmm.
How would you say people have discovered? If you had to think about it, what way would you say people have discovered you the most? Would you say?
What way? Like
In what
for
way has like your audience like been turned on to you? Has it been the live performances or?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I think that um I think because I've been at it for a really long time, it's probably just such a combination of, the Tuxedo Project and that whole a wonderful experience, or Don't Fight It, which was kind of my second single, or the Toki Monster collaborations. It could be from anything, but to answer your question, I did start performing so long before I started
Mm.
releasing in a legitimate way. Yeah, performing was always kind of just the thing that I needed to do and wanted to do, even if the music side was slow to kind of come along. Um, yeah, so I know at least in LA, because I've been performing now in LA for 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah, well, okay, maybe not 10 years. It's been a while though. I would say I've been performing in LA since 2013, 2012, 2013-ish. So like 7 or 8 years. Yeah, so people, I'm sure locals, like LA locals, found me just through like that bar show that they came to of mine, like in 2013. Yeah, it was.
Gosh.
It's been a long road so far, but it's been great. It's been really fun. So.
When it comes to songwriting, um, there's this thing where sometimes songwriters are good at writing ballads or they might be good at writing up-tempo records, but a lot of times for songwriters that at least I've come into counter with, um, writing up tempo records can be a little bit of a challenge. There's
Mhm.
always everybody can write the ballad or the heartfelt song, but when it comes to a song that's going to be up tempo, those are really valuable because they can be played in a lot of different formats and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Um, how have you approached tempo? Because even a song like 2 a.m., there's still a tempo inside of the record that comes through the lyric and the melodic presentation. What's your approach to songwriting when it comes to that?
Mm, I'm all over the place. I think usually when I make something like over 110, it's like I come into the studio saying I need to make something that is up tempo because I've written too many slow songs or what have you. And I know that sounds crazy because so many of the songs I've released are up tempo, but no, usually the ones that are faster are a little bit harder to make, honestly. Yeah, to make in the way that I want them to sound. Mid tempos, 115, 110, like that's pretty, it's pretty easy. Like it could be just a little bit easier. Slow songs are easier for me to write on the piano. It's hard for me to write an up tempo song like on the piano and for it to translate in the way that I want to. Yeah, it just like doesn't work. I don't know how people do that. Um, I need I need a really compelling drum groove usually to write a good up tempo song. Like a
Yeah.
really compelling drum groove. Yeah.
Ma- makes
Yeah.
makes sense. Makes
Yeah.
sense. Um, let's talk about creative direction and inside of that style, you know, Gavin's style. I always see whatever it is, whether it's a cover or whether it's a video or whether it's, a performance, there is a sense of style that's got a certain element to it. It's polished. It stands out, in whatever way that is. So, from a video standpoint, let's just say, shout out to you and your team. Like, I can just watch the videos and I'm like, wow, this one's a bit different than this one, but that one's different than that one. But there's still there's still an element that is uniquely you.
That's
I think
good.
about 2 a.m. Good look for you, Whitney. What goes into that? I mean, it seems like it's its own thing, but how do you approach style as it relates to your artistry?
Yeah, I'm really particular. I'm really particular. Partly, I think I have to give all that the development of style and development of my critical eye when it comes to style to my sister. My sister's my creative director, so we
Nice.
work super closely. We always have, and I mean it she was always, she kind of grew up with this eye for what's cool, what's not, like what's gonna work, what's gonna push the push the look forward, push me forward, fashion wise, all this stuff. Like, so she kind of groomed me in a way, and now I have that eye as well. Like I'm just as critical as she is, which is great. It's really fun. It's really fun to kind of get lost and get as creative as I want to, and really not put any limits on what we can do with fashion and what we can do with the style. Like Good Look for You and The Distance, those videos were really shot on, believe it or not, on like a nothing budget, both of them. And the style for that project was clearly Donna Summer, like clearly, that was the inspiration that was on every mood board. And yeah, it was just, that was it. That's what we wanted to do. That's what we wanted to capture. So that was what we did. That's what we executed. And then as I continued to evolve sound wise, we wanted to try something different. So when Elevator came along, which she directed, and I kind of, creative directed along with her as well, we were wanting to, we really wanted to capture like Los Angeles within style as well. I don't, so basically, if we wanted to capture LA in a certain way, we had to make the outfit choices or the costume choices like very extravagant, to juxtapose with that backdrop of LA, of downtown LA. And we kind of kept that up in in Elevator and then in 2 a.m., which we both styled and creative directed too. So yeah,
2
just
a.m. was so crazy just to think about. My brother is he's amazing in his own right when it comes to like film and editing and stuff. So, looking at that video to see the shots and
it was
the
hell.
Korean
It
shit.
was hell. It was
For
not
real?
easy. Oh yeah, it was I cannot believe we pulled it off. Like I can't even.
How did you shoot it? Like, did you commandeer the street or what, like, was it?
Yeah,
Late at
we had
night?
it. We yeah, it was late. It was in the middle of the night. It was 2 a.m. basically when we shot it, and we we blocked off a street in downtown, and we had a budget for this one, so it was great. We were able to do that. I was very grateful. Lena Waithe actually executive produced it, and it was just amazing. They really just said the sky's the limit. And so I was like, great, well, this is my concept. I want it to be a one shot of me and my friends walking. I saw the whole thing in my mind, and yeah, and they just were able to execute it with me. So it was a lot of hard work. It was a very difficult shoot.
How
The
many
dancers
how many
probably
takes
still
did
hate
you
me.
how many takes did you shoot it? Like how many takes did it take? Like it's I mean with all the choreography and the land on the ground and all, I'm like, yo,
No, it was such a oh, it was not easy. We Long story short, we didn't have that much time, so we rehearsed it. We Basically our rehearsals were when we were supposed to be actually shooting it, but we weren't
okay,
shooting yet, and we ended up our rehearsals were really the camera blocking rehearsals. Our rehearsals were the camera learning what we were going to be doing on camera and what me and the choreographer had created and blocked. So that took the majority of our time. So by the time the camera felt ready, we had 3 takes. So that's why it was just if people only knew. I mean, it was wild. It was super wild. Yeah. It was so crazy. Yeah.
yeah, I look at I'm like, yo, I don't see any cuts. And I'm like, anytime I don't see any cuts, I'm like, oh my
It
gosh.
was so hard. I don't think I'll never do a one take again. Ever. I learned my lesson. I asked for it, and I got what I asked for. It was gnarly. Yeah. Yeah, it was gnarly. Yeah. But very grateful that it turned out.
Wow.
Yeah, so.
What I know you said you got into the industry from an acting, I guess more from an acting background, but entertainment altogether. And I
Mhm.
know you've modeled, or at least I read that you've modeled as well. Um, so what have been the pursuits like in those two regards? I know that we had to reschedule a little bit because you had stuff going on. I'm like, man, she's working, which is great for this time period.
Yeah,
But
no,
um,
it was a surprise for me too. Yeah, I mean it's been very now because I've been focused on music for now 10 years. So before that, basically the acting thing was something that I did very seriously and pretty much from 6 years old, 6, 7 years old to um, 20, I guess, 18, 19, 20. And then I kind of stepped back and just focused on music
gotcha.
since then. Yeah. So anything that comes along now, thank God, it's like very organic, and usually it requires me to be me,
Okay.
which is awesome. But I still love it. I'm still open to it. I think I see myself as more of a creator, content creator, and maybe future producer, future director. But
Nice.
yeah, that's kind of how I'm fitting into that narrative now. It's more as a creator.
What have you been? Have you been inspired to create during this whole situation?
Yeah, sometimes, some days I do, and some days I don't. It's been very up and down with that, with the creative bug. I got some new equipment recently, which helped me feel like writing again. Um, at the beginning I was writing a lot on the piano. Oh
Okay.
shoot, my phone's gonna die. Let me get it.
Sure.
Yeah, hold on 1 second.
Oh,
Oh,
good.
good. 1 second, guys.
What's up,
What's up,
everybody?
everybody?
There's a
There's a
slight
slight
echo. It's
echo.
okay.
Okay,
We'll be
we'll be
okay.
okay.
I might
I
grab
might
my
grab my
earbuds and
earbuds
get
and
it
get it
better.
better.
Okay. Sorry.
All good.
Yeah, some days I feel very creative, and some days I feel so uninspired. And I'm assuming kind of everyone's going through that, you know, up and down type of thing. Overall, I've felt pretty, I feel like, okay, overall, I feel like the pandemic and time in quarantine for me is all about learning. So learning myself, working on myself, learning what things I need to let go of, personally. A lot about learning how to do things I've never done before. So I've been in a lot of classes. I'm going to continue with some more classes in September. And that's kind of how I'm treating the rest of the year. Still planning to release, music very soon and gonna do that, but it's my focus, and I think everyone's focus should be re- learning, learning, taking this time at home with your family to learn them, to learn yourself if you're alone, like to learn a new skill, to refine whatever skill that you've been working on. So
Yeah.
that's kind of how I'm taking it.
What type of classes have you been taking?
Writing classes.
Nice.
Yeah, which has been so fun. Yeah.
Has it been pretty demanding? You've had homework and everything?
Yeah, yeah. It's been demanding in the best way. I really thrive in that kind of environment. So I love accountability. I love structure. I love having deadlines and something to work towards. I love having feedback. I love like that professor relationship. I love it. I get off on it. So yeah.
Wow. Have you ever taught any classes yourself in dance or anything like that?
Yeah, yeah, I have. I did abroad a lot actually. Taught dance in India. I taught jazz. Yeah, here and there. More when I was um, training often. Now I don't train, so my technique is just not as good. So I probably shouldn't teach at all. I could teach something else. One thing I've always wanted to teach was performance technique, because that was something that I had to learn, and I'm still learning, obviously, but I feel like I would love to bring that out of someone and help someone kind of craft and create a plan to enhance their performance ability, because I've had to kind of just learn on my own. It's been fun.
What about other types of, I know you said something about, you know, content creating without diving into too much that hasn't been yet revealed. Have you been writing in the way of like from a how do I put this, like a film or like television type of standpoint? You know?
Yeah, yeah. So I won't, say too much, because I rather just hopefully it will speak for itself one day. But
Yeah.
um, I, long story short, my family is very interesting, and um, my our specific dynamic being, my dad's white, my mom's black. She's an incredible artist. He is creative and he's an artist, but he's software consultant. Like, it's very different type of people, extremely different backgrounds. They came together at a young age, and then ended up having me and my two sisters, and we're all very creative and driven in our own ways. And I just think that that narrative of three adult daughters with mixed parents, there's just so much to explore there. So I've, in short, have been doing that. It's been really
Nice.
fun. Mhm.
I almost can see like where you've gotten certain characteristics from one and you know the other. It's cool.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, I'm such a mix of both of them. So fun.
What where are you in the order when it comes to daughters? Are you the second or third or?
I'm the baby.
Oh boy. Okay. That, yeah. It's a whole nother element.
Yeah, I mean, oh my gosh, babies are so spoiled with love and attention. So
There
yeah,
you go.
very spoiled in that regard.
So you also mentioned about the rest of the year being able to kind of give your fans some more music. Um, what you know, what do we have to look forward to in the way of that? More collaborations or stylistically, like what can we expect?
Yeah, you can expect the album, and then me and Dornick, who is a phenomenal UK based artist, singer, writer, producer. We collaborated a few years ago. Our collaboration didn't come out until actually January of this year. We've been working on like a joint EP, so I'm working on that too. I don't know when that would come out, but that's kind of what has been in the works. And then as soon as this album is out, I'm just gonna get to work on the next one. So I don't want there to be this much time ever again between projects. So I feel motivated. I just think that yeah, I feel really motivated actually to just keep on creating. So
Cool.
mhm.
Well, I is there a name for the album? I don't tentatively or anything like that.
Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
Do you? Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah. No, it's okay. It's all.
I'll share soon. I've already said it. I've already said it in some interviews because it's
Okay.
been for so long. It's called
Gotcha.
it's called pressure. So
I appreciate you honoring me with the title.
yeah, it's all good.
Well,
I
I appreciate you taking the time to connect with me. Um, I know there are people here who are in Germany right now, so it's funny that you mentioned that earlier.
oh
You know,
really?
yeah, yeah.
Cool.
So I wanted to take the last few minutes and just kind of give you the floor before I kind of sign off for the day. So the
Oh,
floor is
okay.
yours.
Okay. No, thank you for taking the time to talk to me and for all your thoughtful questions. And for those of you who have been listening, thank you for listening. And I hope that you'll like the new music. I really
I'm
hope you
sure
like
we
it.
will.
Yeah, I hope so.
I'm sure we will. I encourage everybody to check it out. I'm gonna give my little sign off too, but I want to tell you thank you. I appreciate you. You've always been kind to me. Uh, you know, so
Good.
I don't,
No, I'm
I
kidding.
don't, I don't, I don't take, I don't take that lightly. I don't take people's time lightly either. So thank you for rocking with me, being willing to be flexible, and you know, I look forward to listening, and I'll be supporting as I have been for everything that comes
Thank
up.
you. Thank you. I
No
appreciate
problem.
it.
All right, I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, thank
All right,
you.
no problem.
Bye.
Bye.